Good day to all and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and here we talk about food photography. You obviously have an interest, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on the video. So do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button and make sure notifications are turned on. That way you know when the new videos hit the interwebs. Today we're talking about Flatlay photography. And I'm going to demo and explain two different types of compositions that can give you a bit of a head start in your own Flatlays. See you right after the intro. When I got started in food photography, I really struggled to shoot Flatlays. I didn't understand how to balance an image and I wasn't very happy with my early Flatlay photos. It took quite a while to get the hang of composing Flatlays that were balanced and had a pleasing flow. Back then, there was no YouTube to be able to go out and watch any videos to help me out and give me some guidance and some pointers. But looking through tons of photos, I began to see the patterns and understand better how to set up Flatlay photographs. So Flatlay photography is a style of photography where the items are arranged on a flat surface and photographed from directly above. This method creates a bird's eye view of the subject, allowing for a clear and organized presentation. Flatlays are particularly good and popular due to their visually appealing and easily comprehensible nature, especially in food photography. That said, Flatlay compositions can be somewhat daunting as they don't necessarily adhere to traditional photography rules. The arrangement of the objects is crucial in Flatlay photography. Items are often organized in a way that tells a story or highlights specific themes. Balance and symmetry play a significant role. Though the rule of thirds is a great starting point for building Flatlays, we're going to focus on two other compositional styles, which I'll demo a little bit later. First, let's talk about a few things to consider before pressing the shutter button, because the thought process in Flatlay photography can be quite different than traditional shooting of a straight-on or at a 45-degree angle shot. For one, the background is an essential part of the Flatlay. It sets the tone and enhances the overall look of the photograph. Unlike straight-on photos using a shallow depth of field where the background is generally blurred out, the background in Flatlays is in sharp focus and needs to be considered in the overall look of the image. It's just as important as the food or whatever you're shooting. The background should complement your subject without overpowering it. And it should go without saying, good lighting is still vital to achieving a clean and professional look. Whether you use natural light or artificial light, your light should support the theme of your image or the story that you're trying to tell. Styling your scene can be as simple as just a dish on a background or as complex as you want. Take it all the way to organized chaos, with the key word being organized. There needs to be a method to the madness, from adding a touch of humanity to your images or invoking patterns or grids. Follow through on your thematic elements. For the two scenes I'm shooting today, I whipped up some buttermilk pancakes with macerated strawberries. They were so good. I've also selected a few additional props to help build out my first scene. For my setup here, I'm using a small table in my kitchen next to the large glass doors. It's a bright day outside and I'm diffusing that light with sheer white curtains. My camera is attached to a C-stand looking directly down on the table for this first setup. I'm filming the process of building out the composition so I can see how it looks in the back of the camera as I go. I used a bubble level to make sure the camera was at a perfect 90 degrees so I don't get that look like my props are about to slide off the table. Now I'm arranging what is called a C composition, meaning all the props and items follow the pattern of a letter C, leaving an open space in the center. You can begin to see the letter C in the left side of the video. Notice that I positioned the forks and spoon in such a way as to help the viewer guide them around the image. Now that I've completed my composition for the most part, I'm going to get started making the pancakes, and here is that first photo. You should be able to notice that C pattern that I laid out for my composition. If not, here's a quick visual guide. This composition style is easy to replicate and you can really use a lot of props if you want, as long as you adhere to the pattern. The cool thing about this C composition too is that it works inverted as well. The second setup I'm going to do is what I call a diagonal. This is where the main props follow a line from the top right to the bottom left of the image or the top left to the bottom right. What makes this composition a little tricky is making sure that the remaining props are well balanced. Having two round or square types of items in the opposite corners help balance this image. If this is the direction you go, make sure that either the corner components are the same size or the larger one is placed at the bottom of the image. This way the image does not feel top-heavy or unbalanced. Again, I've used this silverware to emphasize the diagonal nature of the composition. Notice I have used the same props from the prior image except for the wood board. Now all that's left to do is to bring in the food to plate, and we can go ahead and shoot that second photo. Here it is. So one final thought on Flatlays. These compositions work with any types of props and items. It doesn't have to be food photography. You can use these same styles with any type of product photography, from watches to perfumes to soaps. There really isn't anything you can't do as a Flatlay. I hope you've enjoyed the video and have something to take away while you work on your own Flatlays. If you got something out of the video, hitting the like button before you go is always appreciated. Thanks again for watching. Have a great week, and bye for now.